Hello everyone, welcome back to the tutorials. So in this semester I am going to deal with design of concrete structure 2 for final year students. So this course is having 2 lectures plus 1 tutorial per week. So in this session I am going to discuss briefly about the syllabus which is there in the subject. So you can see this subject contains 6 modules. So in first module, we are going to study the limit state of collapse. So before exactly moving to the syllabus, I will tell you the prerequisites required for this particular subject. So design of concrete structure 1, strength of materials are mechanics of solids and structural mechanics 1 and 2. So these are the prerequisites subjects for this particular subject. So we will briefly move to the syllabus now. So module 1 covers limit state of collapse. So generally you can see in design of concrete structure 1 we have studied to design a beam with shear and bending but sometimes beam or a horizontal member will also be subjected to torsion. So in this module number 1 we are going to study about the torsion, introduction to torsion, how the torsion is induced in the beam, so behavior of RC rectangular section subjected to torsion. So when the torsion is induced in a rectangular section, how will be the behavior of that rectangular section, we are going to study in this particular unit. Further, how to analyze that torsion and design of section subjected to combined bending and torsion. So as we have studied the design of rectangular section or beam for bending, so in this studied previously in the design of concrete structure 1, so in this particular module we are going to subject the design of a rectangular section subjected to combined bending and torsion. So bending we have studied already, but when the torsion is combined with the bending, how to design a rectangular section we are going to study in module number 1. So generally this module number 1 is about the limit state of collapse. So we will discuss about the limit state of collapse further in the introduction part of in module number 1. So in limit state design there are 2 limit states which we have to consider, that is limit state of collapse and limit state of serviceability. So in that limit state of collapse we have to consider bending, torsion, shear, etc. So we are going to discuss it in depth further in module number 1 in introduction part. So further you can see in module number 1 a very interesting thing which we are going to study is design when the combined bending and torsion is subjected for a RC rectangular section. So how we are going to design combiningly, we are going to study. Why I am saying it as interesting and important, because generally in practical conditions many of the beams will be subjected to bending and torsion. So what are the practical cases in which there will be combined bending and torsion will be induced in a RC rectangular section? I am going to explain while studying this module number 1. Further you can see in module number 2 we are going to study the analysis and design of axially and eccentrically loaded short column. So you can see there are 2 types of column. One is short column, another one is long column. Short column, when the short column is subjected to load axially, means center of gravity of a column is going to coincide with center of gravity of load, that is called as axially loaded column. And when there is a eccentricity, means whatever the distance which is there from center of gravity CG of a section to the point at which load is acting. So if there is some distance between those 2 points is there, that is called as eccentricity. And when the column is getting loaded eccentrically, how to design that column? So in that we are going to study two shapes. One is circular, another one is rectangular. So we are going to study these two cases. Remember, we are going to study it for a short column. Actually in the column there are two types. One is short column, another one is sorry, pardon me for that. Another one is long column. So when the column is called short and when the column is called long, how to categorize those columns we are going to study while studying the module number 2. Remember, the short column is designed based on Euler's theory. So in that, two shapes we are going to study, that is circular and rectangular. Further, after analysis and design, detailing of reinforcement for a column we are going to study, and construction of interaction diagram for uniaxial bending and concept of biaxial bending. Actually, whenever the column is eccentrically loaded, there will be some movement which is getting induced, or sometimes what is going to happen is when the column is actually loaded and from other side there is some movement which is getting induced on the column. So in that case the design of column changes, or design method of column changes. So when a uniaxial movement means from one axis there is a movement which is getting induced on the column. So in that time, in that case also, the design method will change and our design philosophy will change, and when both the axes is subjected to bending, then this design philosophy will change. So in our IS 456, these things are explained properly. Further, there is an interaction diagram to design the column which is subjected to bending. So how to construct that interaction diagram we are going to study in this particular unit. Okay, so further, this particular subject contains two sections. One is, first section contains two modules, that is about normal RC structures. Second section, that is pre-stressed concrete, which contains four modules, third, fourth, fifth and sixth. So pre-stressed concrete is a advanced trend in RC structure as compared to RC structure. So pre-stressed means inducing the stress before construction in a member. So that is called as pre-stressing. So in module number 3 we are going to study the introduction to pre-stressed concrete. So concepts of pre-stressed concrete, what are the types of pre-stressed concrete, what is the system of pre-stressed concrete and method of pre-stressing. Actually, the trend of pre-stressed concrete arrived because it can give us an economical section. It can we can construct a long span bridges or long span structures. For that purpose, this pre-stressed concrete comes into picture. I will tell you a simple way. What is this pre-stressing? Actually, let us consider a beam. Let us think that the beam is horizontal. When I apply some load on the beam, this beam is going to bend in this manner. So what is this pre-stressing? As we are knowing that beam is bending in this manner, so before applying the load we are going to apply certain amount of stress and we are going to construct the beam in opposite manner like this. So when we induce a load, this beam will be in horizontal shape. Because of this load, the beam is going to bend. So that is called as pre-stressing. Just try to understand it. If you are not getting it, we will study it in detail with the diagrams in module number 3. This is just an introduction to syllabus session. Next, you can see in pre-stressing there are various methods. There are various concepts. There are various types in pre-stressing, and there are various methods of pre-stressing also. Those all the things we are going to study in module number 3. Further, you can see in module number 4 we are going to study stress analysis for rectangular and symmetric I section, pressure line and cable profiles. So we know that whenever we apply a load on any structure, there will be stresses which are going to develop. Based on that stress only we are going to design the structure. So before designing any structure, analyzing the stress is very important. So structure might be of rectangular shape or of I section. So analysis of those stresses we are going to study in model number 4, but it is limited to only rectangular and symmetrical I section only. So pressure line diagram and cable profiles also we are going to study in model number 4. Further, you can see whenever we are going to induce the stress freely before construction in any element of any member of a structure, there will be some losses while inducing the stresses. So those losses, what are those losses? How much amount of loss is going to happen? We are going to study in model number 5. So loss in pre-stressing for pre-tensioning and post-tensioner member. Actually, before pre-tensioning means before construction only we are going to induce the stress, and after placing the elements in a site we are going to apply the tension to create the stresses in the members. So that is called as post-tension. So in detail we are going to study about pre-tension and post-tensioner members in module number 5. So while pre-tensioning also, while post-tensioning also, there are some losses. So there are various types of losses which are going to occur in the pre-stressed concrete structure. So those various losses we are going to study. What is the efficiency of pre-stressing we are going to study in module number 5. With that we are going to study various methods of stressing and what are the losses in those various methods we are going to study in module number 5. Next you can see design of rectangular and symmetric I sections, design of end block. So you can see actually this model number 5 could have been model number 4 and this model number 4 could have been model number 5. Why? Because you can observe one thing, stress analysis for rectangular and symmetric I section we have studied in model number 4. After analyzing, what we are going to do, we are going to design. So the model number 6 is a continuation of model number 4. So after analysis we need to design a rectangular and symmetric I section and design of end block. So this after analyzing the forces, after analyzing the stresses, we need to design it. Remember, this design of pre-stressed members is very much different compared to normal concrete structures. So what are the reference textbooks? So IS 456 Indian Standard Code, IS 1343, SP 16, SP 24, SP 34. Recent editions we have to refer. So I have all the soft copies of this, so I will provide you as a notes. So very important textbook which you have to refer for this is Shah and Curvey and Shah, Limit State Theory and Design. So structures, publications, Pune we have to refer. Again I will just brief you about the reference book. So mainly I am going to refer Curvey and Shah, Jain AK, Reinforced Concrete Structure. I am going to refer Sinha and Roy, Pre-stressed Concrete, S10 publications. Again I am going to refer Krishnaraju and Pre-stressed Concrete. So mainly these 4 textbooks I am going to refer. You can refer to other textbooks also. They are also very good to understand. So these are recommended books. Reference books are given over here. You can also refer BC Punmiya, Reinforced Concrete Design, Volume 1 and 2, Lakshmi Publications, Varghese PC, Limit State Design of Reinforced Concrete. So New Delhi Publications you can also refer. All the Indian standard codes also you can refer. So this is briefly about the syllabus. So you can see next in next session we are going to study about the limit state of collapse. So I will just do the introduction to it. So just you can see over here. So what are the different methods? Just it is an introduction. We are not directly moving to the limit state of collapse. Just as an introduction I am telling you. So method of RCC design. So what do you think? What are the methods of RCC design? How what are the criteria which are to be followed for the RCC design? You can see over here, a reinforced concrete structure should be designed to satisfy following criteria. So what are the criteria? Adequate safety. So it should provide the adequate safety. It should not fall. It should, in terms of stiffness as well as durability. So it should be durable. In terms of stiffness also it should be safe. As well as it is reasonably economical, or I can say it as economical. So safety and economy is very important in RC design. So you can see from old age to now there are three methods we have followed for design of RC structures. First method is working stress method, second one is the ultimate load method, third one is limit state method. Just I will move over here, I will just brief you. So you can see in working stress method we have considered, so this is, sorry, I forgot to explain this diagram. So this is stress strain diagram of a material, of a steel, of a mild steel you can say. So it is a stress strain diagram. So why we need to refer to stress strain diagram, I will tell you. Whenever we assign certain amount of load to any structure or any member, there will be stresses which are going to form, as well as there will be, as stresses are going to form, there will be certain amount of deformation, and due to deformation strains are going to form. So what is stress? Stress is nothing but load. Stress, formula for stress is load divided by area. Strain, formula for strain is change in dimension divided by original dimension. So when we apply certain amount of load, there will be some stress which is induced. Due to stress there will be some deformation in the shape. So due to deformation strain is going to occur. So we are going to apply the load. So this diagram we have studied in a MOS subject. So this is stress strain diagram. So you can see the yellow portion which is shown. So this yellow portion is, you can call it as a linear portion where stress is proportional to strain. So till point A. After that it is non-linear. But whatever the linear portion is there, this much amount of, or this much capacity of the material we are going to consider while designing in working stress method. While designing in working stress method, we are going to consider this much capacity of the material only. But you can see after non-linear behavior, material again carries certain amount of load. Means you can see stress is increasing, means load carrying capacity of material increasing, but we are not considering it in working stress method, but this is considered in limit state method. But this is considered in limit state method, but with certain amount of limit states. Means you can see till ultimate strength of the material we are going to consider in limit state method. So third method is limit state method. Second method I am going to explain further in the next class. So in limit state method we are going to consider up to ultimate strength of the material. But there is one problem with it. You can see we are going to consider ultimate load, but we are not worried about the serviceability. So what do you mean by serviceability? I will tell you. Let us consider this as a beam. I am applying certain amount of load in the beam, load on the beam. So what is going to happen with this beam? This beam is going to bend. It is not falling, or it is not failing. It is not going to fall down, but it is going to bend. But this, if this bending is within the limits, that is acceptable. But if it bends more, it creates scarcity, that it may fall or something like that. So that is called serviceability. Serviceability means what? So actually serviceability means it should not create any scarcity. Such as scarcities it should not create. Means it should provide the service in a good condition. That is generally serviceability. So up to ultimate strength we have considered, but we have not worried about the serviceability. So to make sure that the element which we have designed by using limit state method is serviceable, there are two limits which we are going to consider, that is limit state of collapse and limit state of serviceability. Okay, so this is brief about the first chapter, that is limit state of collapse. Here you can see limit state of collapse comes into picture. In limit state of collapse there are various things. So in general or in detail we are going to discuss about limit state of collapse in the next session.